Do you want to do Star Wars news or Marvel news first?
We'll keep on Marvel.
Okay. So Marvel had their expo. So
Yes.
I mean, I don't think we actually guessed any of this correctly. Oh no, I think I called the Secret Invasion trailer or trailers for stuff coming soon.
Yes.
I think that was it.
And I think we may have mentioned about maybe we'll see where Armor Wars gets placed.
Yeah, well, we got worried after Comic-Con that Armor Wars wasn't there. Then a couple of weeks later, the direct said, "Don't worry, Armor Wars is still alive."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay, so what's happening with it then?"
And
we got the confirmation that Armor Wars is alive and coming. I didn't see a date anywhere though. Did you?
No, and I do wonder if them just doing that and adding that in was for people that may not have seen the director said it was alive. They're just making sure it was publicly said, like, Armor Wars is still here.
They gave it its updated logo, which they normally only do when it's like got a release date, which is quite strange to me. Maybe that should be one of these shows that randomly appears on a Thursday.
I'm guessing they still haven't maybe quite decided on, but they wanted to publicly be like, look, yes, it wasn't on those graphics, but we haven't, it's not gone, sort of thing.
Autofocus camera. Oh well. So we got a confirmation that Jimmy Woo,
yes,
one of our favourite characters, is returning in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Mm-hmm.
If he dies, this podcast dies.
I still think, and I stand by it, we need to have a Jimmy Woo TV show.
I'm so here for it. I genuinely think the only thing in its way right now is how chock-a-block the schedule already is.
Oh yeah, there's just so much going on. But I would love they just chucked a Jimmy Woo little side show in there.
We got a full Secret Invasion trailer.
Yes.
Which looks so good. But the big takeaway, which is fucking hilarious. So last week, I did a character profile on Black Knight.
Yes.
And I said how he was a part of Excalibur,
yes,
which included characters like Captain Britain and Union Jack.
Yep.
And then I said, I believe I read somewhere that apparently Olivia Colman is taking on the Union Jack role in a gender bend version of the character.
Yes, you did.
And then Olivia Colman's in the fucking Secret Invasion trailer. I'm not acting like this is brand new news. I might have just not been aware of this information as everyone else, but that's fucking hilarious to me.
And isn't she in a role of like MI5 or some sort of secret service?
She's playing an English person in it, and she's clearly like in the know about something.
Yeah.
So maybe these rumors that I saw were just people were glossing over it because no one really knew who Union Jack was, or maybe it was a throwaway comment that people didn't believe, or maybe everyone accepted 6 months ago that this was a fact and I missed it at that point, so therefore I missed all the conversation. I don't know, but I just found that really funny.
I like that the trailer obviously had a couple of things that were shown at Comic-Con that we read
like
the descriptions of the whole thing
like the scene where everyone stands up and transforms into the one guy.
Yeah, that, and when he meets up with, oh my god, it's gone out of my head. Rhodey. When he meets up with Rhodey in the restaurant and he says, "How well do you know your security?" That was a scene I think was shown at Comic-Con. So that plus some more, and it looks so good.
It doesn't seem like Maria Hill, assuming that the Maria Hill we saw in the trailer is actually Maria Hill.
Yes.
It doesn't seem like she knew that Nick was off-world.
So
she seemed pretty pissed at him.
I think she did.
But he didn't tell her straight away, and she kind of worked it out herself.
That, or she knew he went off-world, but I got the sense, basically it was the sense of like, she'd tried to contact him multiple times, and I wasn't sure whether she was saying that he'd either ignored her or he told her, no, I'm not coming, like, he was off-world and he kept saying, no, I'm not coming back for something like that, this, like, not important enough sort of thing, because she was like, oh, now you show up, as if, like, she knew he was off-world and had asked for his help on, like, the different things we've seen happen in the films of shit going on, and he's probably kept going, either not responded to her or been like, no, I'm not available, like, I'm not coming back.
I just know that this show is going to fuck our minds every single week, and they're going to play up to the idea of scroll shape shifting constantly. And I don't say that in a way of it's going to get boring. I think they're going to do it really well, and we're going to sit here like this every week, like, I don't know what's happening.
I wonder. I'm fully expecting them to mix in fake Nick Fury.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we saw Talos in the trailer, who we know has been acting as Nick Fury.
Well, yeah. I think there's going to be scenes where, like, real Nick Fury has been going around meeting up with people, having one like private conversation about what the fuck's going on. And then there's going to be some, like, scene where he's meeting someone and we're like, oh, he's met up with so-and-so. And then it'll be like, a couple episodes later, Nick Fury meets up with the same guy again. He's like, we've already met, like, last week. And then he's like, no, we haven't. It's
interesting, though. I think it's kind of alluded to that within like the Skrull community, which obviously living secretly on Earth, that there's a bit of an internal fighting. Because when Talos met that other guy and then everyone else stood up and changed into him, it doesn't seem like Talos wants to take over the planet. It seems like he's pretty happy with the arrangement of we get to live here safely.
Yeah.
And these other guys are like, no, this planet's ours now. So that'll be interesting to see like where everyone lies.
Yes, because I'm presuming from when they first arrived and we saw in Miss Marvel, like they helped Talos and that. He obviously, his little group then became friends with Nick Fury, which is why he's been covering for him essentially while he's been off world.
Yeah.
There's obviously, it's whether how many he knows of other Skrulls that, like, he knows, oh, that one's been impersonating this person, but they're like not really been able to do anything about it, sort of thing.
I do also wonder if they're going to use this to retcon anything.
Yeah, potentially. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple like small things they use like retcon with this. I do like. There's going to be a lot in this show where I think they're gonna make us think one thing for the first like half of the show, and then they're gonna completely flip it in the second half.
Oh yeah, they're gonna beat the shit out of our brains, and I'm so here for it.
So I'm gonna say this now. When it comes out, that first episode, I'm gonna make the wildest claims about whatever we see in that first episode, just in case I can be like, haha, I was right. I had the script.
That sounded like such a soundboard. Haha. They're just like, ha!
I'm right. I got all of this correct.
We also got
go on.
Trailer for Werewolf by Night coming October 7th.
Yeah, I didn't really. It was such a like style change that it threw me off as to what I didn't.
Okay, so Werewolf by Night, I believe, has been used with Moon Knight in the past. I don't think Moon Knight's showing up in this.
Okay.
But when Moon Knight came out in that initial trailer, and in the trailer we saw him beating shit out of something, everyone assumed that was going to be the Werewolf by Night because it had been announced that the Werewolf by Night was being worked on. So then when that didn't happen, everyone was like, wait, so what's the Werewolf by Night going to be now? And clearly it's going to be some special event for Halloween that's coming out like 3 weeks before Halloween.
Yeah, it's like some little one-off.
It's coming out for spooky season. I don't know if it's going to matter for anything. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I don't know if it's going to be in black and white for the entire thing like the trailer was. I'm going to watch it. It might be fun. It might not be. It might be like the Groot shorts where we're just like, oh, that was cool. Okay. But it might end up being something that's quite important. It might be something that they use to set up Midnight Suns or kind of tease once Phase 6 is over in 2025. We're going to break out into, we're going to have street level stuff and mystical stuff and global threat stuff so that whatever your preferred superhero genre is, you can go over there.
I wonder if it'll just like be used to introduce a couple of characters into the world that don't really have place to be introduced anywhere else. Yeah. And they're just like, they exist. They're here.
I thought it was a cool looking trailer. Looks like it could be quite gory, which could be fun.
It's funny, like, when they first, before they showed like anything of what it was and you just said Werewolf by Night, I was like, is this some code wording Wolverine? But it obviously isn't. But I thought it looked interesting, and artistically, like, it's kind of nice seeing something artistically done different.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. I think it's part of their whole, we're trying to give our directors and our writers a bit more creative freedom.
Yeah.
And I think this project exemplifies that mindset at the minute.
Yes.
Big Fantastic Four news. Matt Shakman's the director.
Not the news we were hoping for.
Are we literally going to turn up to this film opening night and find out the cast as the film happens?
No. Do you know what I think it is?
Like, bro.
Do you know? I genuinely think Marvel's like, this is going to get leaked when it starts filming. Let's just let it. Like, let's just accept the fact this is going to get leaked, and that's free publicity for us.
My only other thought might be, do some of the characters have cameos, and they want that to be how people find out who the characters are? I don't agree with that.
What's the next film?
Is that...
Oh, Black Panther.
We've got Black Panther, which has Namor, and Namor has a thing for Sue Storm, and Sue Storm has a thing for Namor.
And Fantastic Four are very tech savvy, and
let's also remember, She-Hulk literally replaced the Thing at one point.
Yeah, so maybe you're right. Maybe
and Human Torch is Spider-Man's best friend.
Yeah, maybe they're going to do it by cameo. If not, then
I don't agree with that, but it's possible.
I mean, they've done it before in the past.
I just disagree with it with the Fantastic Four because I think they're doing an origin story film, so it feels weird for us to know the characters before their film.
That's just presuming they're doing an origin story film.
If they're not doing an origin story, they done fucked up somewhere, because how have these 4 people with superpowers been around this long?
Depends.
But there's issues, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's not actually issues, but in my internal logic, all I'm seeing is problems, and I don't like it.
If they don't cameo it, I actually think they will just let it leak on its own, because they know that's free publicity and it'll get everyone talking about the film again.
I would love, though, for them to somehow keep it a secret. Do no real press for the film other than Fantastic Four is coming out on this date, and we turn up not knowing who the Fantastic Four are. Because while this isn't happening, Fantastic Four are huge.
Mm-hmm.
They are just as big as... They are on the level of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four. It is them 4. They are the S tier of superheroes.
I just don't see any way this doesn't get leaked.
But imagine, though. I'm not saying it won't get leaked. I'm just saying imagine.
Well, yeah, it'd be fucking wild, but...
Imagine it comes out, like, I'm going to a Thursday night, midnight showing. We're finishing episode whatever. We'll be on, like, 90 or 100 by then, I think. More. Jesus, that's terrifying. Anyway, I'm just like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm getting in my Mercedes-Benz because I'm rich now. And I'm going to go see Fantastic Four. I can't wait to see who the actors are.
Yeah, no.
Imagine, though, it'd be nuts.
It would be, but within an hour, like the first 5 minutes of the film being aired at the premiere, it'll be all over the internet.
Oh, yeah. If you're not getting there for a midnight showing, you do need to go on full media blackout until you get to see the film.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be at the premiere by then, obviously.
We hope.
So it wouldn't be too big of an issue. Maybe we'll be the ones who get to leak the story of who it is.
I want to be on set and leak the photos.
Yeah. Just me taking a selfie with John Krasinski in his Mr. Fantastic uniform.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, if it's not announced, I fully think it gets leaked with literally on-set photos.
It's going to happen.
Because look,
if they manage to get to do their own announcement at this point, I'll be so impressed.
Yeah. I do think there's going to be some... I actually think cameo is the most realistic thing, unfortunately. But it's like, they're going to have to answer a fucking lot of questions with a quick cameo.
I think they can only get away with cameoing maybe one of them.
Yeah.
And then everyone just goes, okay, we had 3 fan casts. This one was in that fan cast, so this is our Fantastic Four.
Which one is most likely to get in trouble with the law and need a lawyer?
Johnny.
Can you imagine if the Donny Blaze was a whole, like, it was a tease to then get everyone hyped, and everyone's like, they got us. But then it's a double twist, and he does actually rock up later in the season.
Hori.
Yes.
Donny Blaze was a play on Johnny Blaze, who's Ghost Rider.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
No, but Johnny Storm is the most likely to get in trouble with the law, who's the Human Torch.
Shut up. My brain...
I really wish I could have seen your face then as your brain put that together.
And this is why I'm the casual fan. Because my brain was just like 2 fire people, both with Johnny
named Fire, same person.
Yeah.
All
right, what if it's a complete tease and it's like everyone thought they were getting Ghost Rider, but then it's no, we're gonna get Johnny Blaze.
Yeah,
Johnny Storm.
That's sick, because he instead of flame on, he could say blaze on.
Oh my fucking brain.
We got an announcement of the Thunderbolts roster.
Yeah. No one.
My God, is it underwhelming?
I don't feel like this was really the people we expected. We knew US Agent.
Yeah.
And we knew Yelena.
I thought US Agent was a good chance. I was confident on Yelena. I was hoping for Taskmaster. And then I thought we were going to get like Abomination plus 2 others.
Yeah, like from what we've seen of people being recruited, like.
Okay, let's actually break down this group.
Yeah.
Ghost is the only one that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because obviously
Red Guardian and US Agent are the same character. They are Captain America wannabes who did the wrong thing at the wrong time because they're not perfect like Steve Rogers.
Yep.
Then you have Yelena and Bucky who are brainwashed into doing evil people's bidding.
Yep.
But Bucky's already kind of internally solved that, so I don't get his motivation.
Yeah.
Taskmaster was... I'm so sad how badly used Taskmaster was in Black Widow. Hopefully this can be a redemption for Taskmaster.
Yep.
Ghost makes sense. Legitimate villain despite having good motivations in not wanting to die.
Yes.
Good opportunity for redemption.
Yep.
I would have been much happier with Ghost, Taskmaster, US Agent or Red Guardian. Because they do the same job, you only need one of them.
I think...
Go US Agent.
Yeah, just because it's been set up already.
Yeah, US Agent, Ghost, Taskmaster, Abomination. I'm okay with Yelena if Bucky's not there. And then Zemo.
Yeah. When I saw that list, I was just like, Red Guardian, like what? Like, I get that he's...
No,
but I get like what he can bring, but then I was like, we have US Agent who's already been set up to kind of be heading this group. Well, that's how they were selling it to him. And then it's like, Yelena, I can get, like, she clearly was already doing jobs for them. But then it's like Bucky. I'm like, why Bucky? Like, I don't get like, we saw, the last we've seen of Bucky is him coming to terms with things, and he's like kind of past getting redemption against all his list and whatnot. It's like, why would he then go and like fight for some weird US government thing?
I'm sad because this cast of characters, this roster of characters, not the cast, all of the actors are brilliant as their characters. This roster of characters, it makes no sense to me. But the fact that they've announced it means it's not going to change. All we can hope is there's going to be a couple of surprise additions we're not expecting who balance this roster. But even then, you can maybe make it work with like US Agent and Red Guardian competing, and Yelena and Bucky like both trying to be the leader. But I just don't see it working. You've essentially tried to make 4 characters into 6 characters. Give us Red Guardian or US Agent and Yelena or Bucky. Bucky doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you really want to have a character of that style, give us one of them 2, and then give us Abomination and someone we haven't met yet, someone new, a new character for us to get our teeth into.
Because it's also now, like, we were predicting that one of the reasons Abomination wants out is like some government's paying him, they leaked it, and they're trying to force him into the Thunderbolts. That kind of just takes away that entire theory.
Which, I mean, when the Abomination got confirmed as being back in Shang-Chi and then in She-Hulk, everyone was like, oh, well, we know a Thunderbolts film is on the way. This makes complete sense. But it's just been blown out of the fucking water. I don't get it.
Unless the whole Thunderbolts thing is going to be trying to get hit. Like,
Bucky wouldn't do that, though. Bucky wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, let's go on a recruitment mission. Do you know what I mean? It's just... I don't know how they're going to make this work. I want them to, but I've got a horrible feeling I'm not going to like that film now.
Yeah, it's... They need to...
It's giving Suicide Squad by Aker vibes, not Suicide Squad by James Gunn vibes.
Like, the only... I don't even know if, like, there's anything with Secret Agent they can kind of flip. Like, I don't know, Bucky's not who we actually think he has been this whole time or something like that. Like,
I don't know.
Even that is going to be a stretch to get anything to work.
I saw someone say that this roster would make more sense if they'd called the film Secret Avengers instead of Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So I think the title of Thunderbolts is more popular than Secret Avengers. So they wanted to use that. But then it's given people the completely wrong idea. Thunderbolts is supposed to be villains who are reformed or reforming or pretending to be reformed kind of vibe. And instead we've got Red Guardian, who was just Russian Captain America, doesn't make him evil.
No.
We've got US Agent, who was trying to be the new Captain America, but went a bit crazy. Again, he's not necessarily evil, he's just not great. Bucky, who's fully redeemed himself.
Yeah.
Yelena, who might feel like she has some wrongs to right, but she wouldn't do it this way anyway. Taskmaster and Ghost are the only people that make sense. And even then, Taskmaster doesn't make a lot of sense in the MCU because she was brainwashed.
Yeah. This is
my only hope for this film is that they fix Taskmaster. If they do that, the film gets a pass.
See, this is the thing, like, it doesn't match with the Thunderbolts name. I get these people being grouped because they're obviously all being hired by our creepy agent woman friend. I forget her name.
Yeah, Valentina.
It's obviously who she's going around and recruiting. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's why Yelena's there. That's why US Agent's there. Like, Bucky is an odd one, but obviously for some reason she gives him jobs or something, and that's why he's ending up on Taskmaster. I can understand why she would get picked up because it's like...
You've also got to remember, this is going to be like, what, 8 years since we last saw Taskmaster?
She's probably been doing fucking shady jobs just to get by.
Exactly. Which is why I'm hopeful we might see a better version of Taskmaster.
Yeah. Red Guardian's a bit of a weird one.
To develop but yeah, it makes no sense. I don't get it.
Yeah, Red Guardian and Bucky are just like, you could just take them out and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
The rest, I could get behind why they are in the group and being put together.
I could make it work. Yelena and US Agent cause more issue for me because the other two are there as well.
Yeah.
If you get rid of Bucky and Red Guardian and give us Abomination and, like I said, a brand new character that we're going to get introduced to through the film, I think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Anyway. We got confirmation, although I forgot to write it down, that Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in Echo.
Yes, he is. With an eye patch.
With an eye patch. As, I mean, I'm pretty sure I said way back when. But, and that led straight into Vincent D'Onofrio asking Kevin Feige about, what about my show? And then Charlie Cox struts out and goes, what do you mean your show? And the crowd goes wild. And we got to see the Daredevil Born Again logo.
Yep.
Which looks fucking sick.
The double D.
It got confirmed in an interview by Charlie after the panel that this is not a continuation of the Netflix series. So it's not like season 4 of that character.
Yeah, see, I missed that.
But also, and this is what pissed a lot of people off, but I eat these people's tears because they don't get it. He said, we've got 18 episodes. we can do levity as well as the serious side of Daredevil. It's not going to be all one way or all the other way. We've got to do both. It's 18 episodes. So people, and here's the thing, people have overreacted and they're like, oh, we're going to get corny Marvel jokes and Daredevil's like Batman, he's dark and he's rude. He's like, no, he is fucking not.
Yeah, it's just
Matt Murdock turned up to a Christmas party wearing a jumper that said, I'm not Daredevil. That's fucking hilarious. Matt Murdock is a funny guy. Let him be funny.
I think, like you said, the people are presuming it's going to be Marvel's cornier stuff or like more like for humor, sort of like that cheesy.
Yeah, it's not.
And not realizing, like, just because we haven't seen necessarily Marvel do other forms of humor doesn't mean that like it's automatically going to be like cheesy humor. Like,
exactly,
a show can still be funny and dark at the same time.
And let's not act like Daredevil on Netflix didn't have legitimate fucking jokes in it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Also, we've already seen like the sort of humor that he'll have in Spider-Man when he catches the fucking brick and he just goes, I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
And that's exactly something Matt Murdock would say.
Yeah, it's just
before any Netflix stands like Matt Murdock would never do that. Yes, he would. Read the source material. I'm not one of these guys who are going to be like, no, you should read. No, in this situation, this is legitimately one of these times where you do not understand the character as well as you think you do.
Yeah. So, with him confirming that it's not season 4, is this like alternate timeline then?
I'm going to go into it with the approach, unless we get told otherwise, that because of the multiverse, some of the stuff that happened in Netflix has happened on this Earth, but not all of it. So I think you can watch it as a kind of half law in the sense of some of this will have happened, but not all of it.
Got you.
Do you know what that is my approach to it.
They'll do it as pretty much all of it happened except the stuff with Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and all that, because they don't want that stuff to cause an issue unless they decide to bring it in.
Do you know what I think the only change is going to be? A new Iron Fist actor.
Just get rid of the Defenders and like that shit happened.
Literally just recast Iron Fist.
Oh. Yeah, because I mean, the only change I'd go for.
Yeah, like I forget their names, but they were both brilliant. It was just the Iron Fist actor who didn't learn how to do any kind of physical combat, and therefore the show was shit. Yeah,
and I also don't feel Iron Fist was necessarily the best written out of all those Netflix ones.
I would also like for Danny Rand to be made Asian, because there is no reason for him to be white. I don't care that Danny Rand's quite a white name. Fuck it, make him an Asian kid who was adopted by rich white people. I don't care.
Well, no, there's plenty of Asian people that have like are called Danny.
No, but like Danny Rand is a very like Western name.
Well, yeah, but a very common thing for Asians to do when they come to like US and stuff is they pick up very British, American, or English names because they think that's the best way to like
assimilate.
Yeah. But interesting that might screw up my whole blip theory, but it could still be.
No, it definitely could still happen that way. I think until we get told otherwise, or until the show gives us a reason to think otherwise, view the Daredevil Netflix stuff as you can essentially treat it as lore, but if stuff doesn't 100% line up, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's my approach to it. I am hoping we get to keep the actors and actresses who played Karen and Foggy.
Yes, I think that you agree.
Because they were very good, and I would be very sad to see them get recast.
I think they will, because I think Matt Cox and that, like, they'll have their little family that they want to bring back.
The only danger is they might be scared if they bring too many actors in. No matter what they say, people are always going to view Netflix as lore, and then any plot holes, they're going to be like, that's a plot hole, and they're like, no, it's not lore. But it doesn't matter.
I don't think Marvel would care about that stuff.
No. As long as they've got podcasters like us going, it's 50%. 50% of what you're seeing did happen, you just don't know which 50%.
Yes.
Then we moved on to Captain America 4, which got me erect. It didn't. But like, we got lots of very fun information.
We did.
Now, we were not doing the podcast when, I think I did say it to you, but I'm not going to quote myself there. I know I said it to Jenna when we were watching it. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yes.
we meet a soldier called Joaquin Torres in like episode 1. I think we see him in episode 2.
Shows up a bit later on as well.
Yeah. And he in the comics takes over the role of Falcon when Sam becomes Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we said that how heavily we were talking about MCU stuff at that time, but I know I picked up on that and I was like, oh, that's a cool little thing to have set up.
I think we did mention it because I think even I said it feels like he's going to pick up the Falcon stuff because he was like interested in the tech and fixing it. So it's like, I think we both kind of were like, we wouldn't be surprised if he now picks up the Falcon mantle.
So it's been confirmed that him, Isaiah Bradley, who was obviously in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well as Captain America during the Vietnam War, who then got thrown in prison.
Yeah.
And the lead, who was obviously our character profile earlier, all going to be in Captain America 4.
Yes.
With the leader obviously being the big bad.
It must be part of the New World Order.
Yes. So, what I said or alluded to earlier about it being his debut in the MCU.
Yes.
In the Incredible Hulk film,
okay,
I'm asking you guys to remember here, he was talking to a man called Mr. Blue.
Right.
Yeah, who we then saw before the final battle, and then Mr. Blue got shocked and fell to the ground. Do you remember?
Vaguely.
That is Samuel Stern, aka the leader.
Right.
He was teased all the way back in Incredible Hulk.
That's why people are saying he's returning.
Yes. So we never saw him as the leader, so it's going to be the leader's debut. But we have seen Samuel Stern before. I believe it is the same actor. And if you actually go back and watch it, not that I'm advocating anyone do that, just find the clip. We do actually see his head start to mutate and stuff.
Right, okay.
And it looks like it's starting to get bigger and expand already. And at the time, even me at the time, who knew very little, I just like, oh, he's dead and his head's all weird. Cool. That was them teasing the leader all the way back then. And it's finally being paid off, which is fucking awesome.
Do you know what I think? That's one of those things where they teased it back then, probably with if we do a second plan. Well, probably with the plan, a rough plan of when we do a second Hulk film, he can be potentially the villain for that. Then it's the whole plan for MCU completely changed when Iron Man came along, and it was just he got shelved. But there was always that note of was teased in Hulk, and they're we'll find a way for that to pay off eventually.
We've got to remember, New World Order's 2024, early 2024.
There'll be kids that go to that film that will have never seen Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk was 2008.
Oh, why are you making me feel old?
So there's going to be 16-year-olds who are born after this character was initially introduced.
Pain. Now I just feel old.
How nuts is that?
Oh yeah, there'll be some that won't take the time to go back and watch all the Marvel films. So they probably will. Or if people do go back, most likely we'll just skip the Incredible Hulk film because everyone tells them, it's not that great.
Yeah.
And they're going to be where's this guy come from?
But I'm so excited. I think for the New World Order, that is a brilliant villain to choose as the mastermind.
Yep. And the fact that they're bringing Joaquin as Falcon, and I think that's going to be fun to have. Especially if it seems like Bucky's whether Bucky's still hanging out with him or if he's now busy off doing this other stuff, because we've seen he's joining Thunderbolt. So maybe it's Cap and Falcon, the two new versions, and they're doing shit together.
I just love how much people are going to hate that they have a black Captain America and a Mexican Falcon. It's going to be great. America is being defended by minorities. Deal with it.
Always has been.
For real. Holy shit, that's only just done with the Marvel stuff. Okay,